life. I want to wish Danny, 16-year-old Danny, all the best, and her mom, who's really worried for her and has good reason to. I want to move on. We're going to move on to a story about a 19-year-old Nicole. She's the former Miss Teen Utah. However, Nicole started experimenting with drugs until one day she was unconscious and almost dead after accidentally overdosing on the club drug GHB. Now, Nicole is on a mission to save other kids from what she says is the horror of drugs. Take a look at this. She's young, beautiful, and healthy. She's also an aspiring singer who just 1 year ago was celebrated a beauty queen.
I stand here today because I'm lucky.
Hard to believe that just 2 years ago, Nicole Marie Hansen nearly died from drug abuse. To say that it all happened so fast would be only half true.
By the time I even realized it was happening, you know, I was gone.
Yes, the night Nicole overdosed on GHB, it came as a violent and sudden shock.
I passed out, I blacked out, and started vomiting.
But that the 17-year-old had OD'd it all came as no surprise to anyone who knew her well.
I got into ecstasy and cocaine and ketamine, mushrooms, kind of pretty much what was on the table.
Nicole's reality was hardly the stuff of urban docudramas. She was a good girl from a middle-class home, yet she felt estranged from her high school peers.
I never felt like I fit in anywhere. It's like, where was my place?
But there's always a place in the drug scene for another user.
You try to find something to identify with because you still haven't identified yourself.
Then, one fateful night, Nicole picked up a drink at a party. What she thought was soda was actually the club drug, GHB.
They would get me breathing, and then I would stop, and I flatlined twice.
Nicole barely escaped death, and the trauma nearly erased her memory.
So they came and brought me a clipboard, and they're like, can you write down your name, your phone number, your parents' name, anything? I just shook my head, and I began to cry because I didn't know. I couldn't think of anything.
Now, she can't think of anything worse than going through any of that ever again.
It can be done. I did it, but it's not easy. So avoid it in the first place, and you don't have to worry about it.
Coming up, a woman who faces 5 years in prison for smoking pot for medical purposes. Don't go anywhere.
Up next.
Why do you smoke pot?
These drug advocates have their reasons.
They grow and they